Hello, everyone. This is what's the name of the show again? Resellers Post Without Chat. He couldn't make it tonight, so we decided to do it kind of later, and so we didn't come up with a topic. But me and Pete are here, Craigslist Hunter.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
We're committed.
We committed. We are committed. Having a brewski over here.
He's getting ready. So I hope everybody is doing well. So how are you doing, Mr. Pete? I've seen your video the other day. You put up a video about your house and everything coming along very nicely.
Yeah, man, that house is keeping me busy like there is no tomorrow. Like I told you, I just got home and I left home like at 6:30 in the morning. I was on a job site already at 7 a.m. and I've been going nonstop between the shop and the business and the house. I'm freaking busy, man. But it's looking good, man. It's looking good. I'm super excited.
When's the timeline on the house? When do you think you'll have it done?
I gotta be out of this place in 8 weeks.
Okay, so basically, like, what's that? Middle of May?
Yeah, middle of May. I gotta be out of here. So it's the time. The clock is ticking right now. It's just hopefully the weather will stay with us. I mean, it got a little bit warmer. It was cold for like 2 weeks all of a sudden, and now it's again warmer. So
very nice. Looks like a nice spot. You have that little creek there, or whatever it was.
Yeah, I got a nice creek going in the back. It's beautiful. I mean, it's about just a little bit over an acre. The property itself, but I got nice wooded woods in the back. I mean, a lot of woods in the back, and it's a really nice place, right in a cul-de-sac. I think me and my wife are gonna enjoy it.
Very nice. Cul-de-sacs are nice and quiet. I noticed that when I was looking at houses, like if it was on a dead-end street or something, I'm like, yo, I like that. It's not too many people are gonna go down it or should be going down it.
Yeah, so that's one nice thing, having that in a cul-de-sac. And there's only two other homes in that cul-de-sac, so it's really nice.
Nice and quiet.
We really don't have a topic, right? We're just shooting some shit today.
Yeah, just shooting the BS. If anybody has anything for us, let us know. I know I've been quiet this week. I've just been, I don't know, just taking it easy. I haven't listed much. I haven't sourced for much. I got a few things over here I'm going to list probably in the next few days. I have this huge Chevy clock I'm going to list and some other little things. But I don't know. Next week, I'm probably going to go out like 4 or 5 different days. I'll probably maybe take a road trip somewhere. I was thinking about going to like Florida, but
yeah, that's what you mentioned. Yeah, that's what you mentioned, that you want to take a trip there.
I just don't know if I want to spend the money now. And my wife would miss some weeks from college because they already went through their spring break.
Oh yeah.
So, and they're very against her taking any like days off, and she wants to go back home to the Dominican Republic for a week or so when her mom comes back. So I kind of gotta figure out what to do there. So
yeah,
got to take one trip or the other.
It's weird, man. I'm hearing you only. Hold on, let me change the headphones here. I only hear you in my left channel.
I'll speak into the right. Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, see, when I say something.
Hello.
Okay, it's correct on my regular speakers.
Maybe you don't need the headphones.
All right, say something again.
Hello.
Same thing. I don't know. It must be my headphones going bad or something. All right, that's okay. I'll deal with it. Yeah, guys, any questions for us? You can ask anything you want. Hey, Peter, what watch are you wearing? Okay. Nothing special. Citizen Echo Drive. This was probably when it was new. This watch was, I don't know, like $500. You can buy it probably used on eBay now for $150. So picked it up 5 years ago, and nice thing about it is never needs a battery. So
Here's a question. How about Faded Glory King? What a name. How are you doing with your eBay clothes selling?
yeah, actually, I can talk about it a little bit. I recorded for my next video a little info about it. How am I doing and what I'm picking, and so right now, roughly, I got probably about 250 items listed. That actually reminds me, I think I got to relist like 50 or 70 items. But I'm concentrating mainly on shoes and vintage clothing, and here and there some like brand names, meaning like Under Armour, maybe sweatshirt and things like that, um, because I'm finding out for me that it's not worth going after like shirts and jeans and stuff like that. It's just no money for it, for me at least, you know. um so but I'm still learning, I mean, big time. It's not as exciting as I thought it would be. uh, it's just not my thing, you know, but it's still, when I'm walking into to a thrift shop, if I'm there already, I'm gonna hit some racks, you know. But now it's a lot quicker. I'm kind of know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for certain patterns, colors, and it's, I'm not spending, you know, an hour standing by the rack and flipping through all the shirts and stuff like that. It's just, it's not happening. But shoes are crazy. Shoes, I'm doing really good in shoes. Every day I'm selling at least, you know, 1 or 2 pair of shoes. So my average right now is $42, which is really good. I'm happy with that. I can't complain. I was under 30, then I went a little bit over $30. Now I'm at 42, and that's mainly because of shoes, because shoes are bringing a little bit more money, you know. So that's where it stands right now.
Yeah, I mean, shoes, there's a lot of money in shoes. Shoes are really nice. I love finding a nice pair of shoes. Only problem is you get a nice return on some of them. I had one come back for $230 or so. I was like, ouch.
Yeah, so far I haven't had a single return yet in clothing.
That's
So
crazy.
that's pretty good. I know I haven't sold that much. I mean, I'm selling, you know, 1 or 2 items a day, basically. Um, Sometimes 3. I think today I packed 3 items, which are going to be actually in the next video. But yeah, but I'm being a little bit more picky, you know, as I'm learning. I know what kind of sits. I know what not to look for anymore. I mean, it's still a learning curve. Shit, I've only been doing clothing for what, 3 months or something, or 4. Well, I started picking clothing about half a year ago, but really we didn't start listing till the beginning of the year, you know.
It's
So,
definitely a learning curve because sometimes, like when I started, a lot of things I thought would sell for good money or not sell for good money. So it took me really teaching myself and going out there and then finding the recent styles or stuff like that, you know, not picking up everything of a certain brand. And it just takes a little while.
yeah,
I enjoy it sometimes, and then other times I downright get aggravated looking for stuff.
yeah. And also, like, you know, I had really good luck with some jackets and some leather jackets and stuff like that. But obviously, that season is kind of ending slowly, so people are not going to be looking as much. But if you got a really cool piece, it will still sell in the summertime, you know.
Yeah, clothing will sell anytime. I mean, it sells definitely a lot slower when you get out of certain seasons with things like. But for the most part, it's winter somewhere in the country and always some. I mean, in the world. I mean, if you're an international seller, um, you know, it's always fun.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I don't know if, you know, it's a little bit extra money, of course. But I'm not gonna like, what I'm trying to say, I'm not gonna like commit myself just to do that, you know, because it's really only about maybe 10%, you know, of my business. The stuff that I really sell and make money are the hard goods, the unusual crap, you know, the strange things and one of a kind. And then of course I get a lot of stuff that walks in through the door to the shop that it's just like Chet would said, the bread and butter, you know, somebody brings me an iPhone or iPad or some you know, stuff that I can easily unload within hours. So that's where my money is, you know.
Right on, brother. I'm trying to catch all these questions. There's a shitload of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, where'd they all come from all of a sudden? Somebody, since we're on that moment of talking about your store, shit, what was the question?
I don't know. You loaded up this chat with a bunch of questions. I don't see it now, but
well, they were asking, do you get all your clothes from? Is it mostly from thrift stores, or do you get off of the apps like Craigslist and all that?
no, 90, I would almost say 99% is thrifted from a thrift store. I got a couple local shops by me that I really like and enjoy, and they're not overpriced and they got good quality stuff. Not a big selection, but I always pop on something there, especially one shop when it comes to shoes. And then Goodwills, you know, Savers. I actually went to Salvation Army the other day, and I bought a couple pair of shoes. I don't go to Salvation Army because I just don't like them. But yesterday I happened to be in an area. I remember when we were chatting live, I was driving around.
Right.
And I was going for lunch. I just happened to be in that area when the Salvation Army is, so I popped on a couple pair of shoes. But yeah, most of it's from a thrift. And now I'm kind of spreading a word a little bit in my shop that I'm looking for clothing, but I'm looking mainly for vintage clothing. So.
And you created a different store just for your clothing, right? Than your main.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did, and it has only clothing in it. If you guys want to go and check it out, it's my my store's name, the Trading Post 7100 Corp. Long ass crazy name, but yeah. So I got a ton of shirts in there, which I'll probably get rid of. I'm just gonna unload them and get rid of them because I don't want to deal with that, you know.
Gotta do what you gotta do. But let's see here. Okay. Got a question. I'm not really sure. Hey, Ronnie, is there a way to paying eBay to upgrade your account to have your listings in a better position? As far as I'm aware of, I mean, the way they're saying it, I mean, you just have to be top rated seller and all that kind of thing, have the right keywords, and you'd be higher in the searches. I mean, whatever it tracks, you know.
Well, I know you can do the sponsored things, right? You can.
I haven't tried that yet.
I honestly don't know how it works, because sometimes when you look at a sponsor ads and on your first page of listings, let's say you got 25 listings on the first page, when it pops up, it will be mixed. There'll be some organic stuff and there'll be some sponsored in between. So I guess it does bring you up. I don't exactly know how it works as far as, you know, what are the costs involved. I know you pay only after somebody buys the item. I don't think you have to pay anything up front. But I haven't dabbled with it, so I can't. I just know it exists. So
yeah, I had the lady actually. I mean, a lady, a eBay rep or something called me about a month ago about it, maybe, or 2 weeks ago. It was recently, because I seen the eBay, it came up eBay one day and I didn't get it. And the next day when I was driving in the truck, I answered the call. And I was driving and I was just like trying to talk. And I was like, lady, I can't talk now. And she's like, oh, I'll send the information to your email. And I never got around. I think I deleted it by accident. I just never got around to reading it. But maybe I'll check into that. I just got around to making categories for my stuff in my eBay store. So that was a bit of a pain in the butt.
Yeah. Sorry, I was reading a couple questions here.
All right, see what question.
Pete, how do you pay your listers, and what duties do they have to do? What's a good number to listing they have to do a proper day? You know what? I pay hourly. I pay hourly the employees for listing. And with me, it's a little bit different because a lot of stuff that are being listed on my main account are things that are unusual, or a lot of the stuff is one of a kind. So it takes a little bit more research to do on certain things. There's cleanup involved. But like Vicky, for example, she does from start to finish, meaning when she gets the item from us, she will clean it, she will prepare it for pictures, she takes all the pictures, she does all the research on it. She gets basic numbers from us, like what we paid and what we are expecting, but she will actually do intensive research on an item and then do the whole shebang, from start to finish. And sometimes, depending on an item, it might take her a half an hour, 45 minutes, sometimes an hour to list an item. But then obviously there's stuff that it's a lot easier and quicker, but I don't expect her to do more than 3-4 items in an hour. That's a really good turnaround for her if she can do that much. Like for example, today I had custom fly fishing rod that was made. There was a lot of stuff had to be written about it, and a lot of research, and pictures are difficult to take of a 9-foot fly fishing rod. So, and I know it took her at least 45 minutes, maybe even an hour to list something like that. So, but again, a lot of this stuff will be listed for a few $100 too. So, if she does, like, I want to say 15 to 20 listings in an 8-hour day, I'm happy. I'm very happy.
You have 2 listers, right? Or you have just the one?
I have also a part-time guy who does probably, it depends, anywhere from like 12 to 16 hours a week. He goes to school, and basically he calls us and asks, hey, is there enough work for me to come in for a few hours? And I'll see how much stuff I have currently in the eBay room. And if I got enough, I'll tell him to come in, So 1 week he's going to have 10 hours, next week maybe 16. It all depends. And then here and there, I will list, and Adrian will list too, some simple stuff if we got a little bit of time. So.
Very nice. All right, see here. All right, what if someone opens a return, that item arrives damaged, but they don't send photos or tell what the damage is? I mean, basically, if they're not giving you any photos or any pictures and they don't want to return it, there's no refund.
Yeah, you can definitely push on that. I mean, if something gotta back up their story, whatever they're telling you. But a lot of times, it depends on the amount, of course, of money. A lot of times it's not worth your time. I don't want to argue. They want to return something, I accept returns, and they say, you click the button and move on, right? I mean, it's just, that's how it is.
Yeah, I think mine's automated, so it doesn't even matter what reason. It automatically just ships them out. You know, what do you call it? A return thing. Either I'm paying for it or they're paying for it. Just depends on what they put as their reason.
And sometimes, if it's a cheap item, if it's something for $25, and if there is an issue already with it, and if they're saying they want to return because it got broken or whatever happened, I'll just give them the refund and I'll tell them to keep it. Why would I want to pay another shipping, another $8, $10, $12, and then get a broken item that I can't do shit with it? I'll just tell them to keep it.
Yeah, that happens every once in a while. We'll have something that is like a floor I missed, and they'll send a picture, and I'm like, you know what? Here's the money back. I messed up. I don't want it back. I mean, then I'm gonna try to sell a flawed item, and then I had to pay for the money. It's just
Yeah, like I just had the other day a walkie-talkie that the guy got it, and it got damaged in shipping, and it was only like $29.95 item plus shipping, and he said that the screen got broken, and when the radio still turns on, but you can't see anything on a screen. Okay, there was one of those, whatever you call liquid, like calculators have, like the TI-84 has, that one of those, and it cracked in half. And I'm like, what am I gonna do with it? What am I gonna sell it now for parts for $6.99? Just keep it, give him the money back, move on.
Oops. All right, there was let's go back here. All right, the next one, we got that one. I have 300 items posted. I get a sale here and there. How many items did you guys have when you started to have steady income? I think it all depends on what you are selling. Because I talked about this in the other day. I only have 600 items in my store, 600 to 700 items most of the time, and I actually have 30% less items than I had last year, but I'm making actually more money. I think it just becomes you're picking better items that you feel will sell faster. Stay away from slow moving things, or you can be like Scavenger Life, and where they got like 5,000 things in their inventory. So it just depends on the items and the quality of items, and you got price points. And
I agree 100%. It all depends what you're selling, because it's really hard to make a living when you have a couple hundred items and you are selling them for $7.99. But you can have a couple hundred items, and if you're selling them for a couple $100 each, different ball game, right? So it all depends what you sell. So don't base yourself strictly on how many items you have. I mean, I have roughly on average about 500 items in my main store, and I'm doing about 35 grand a month. You know what I mean? So it's just, it all depends what you sell, and somebody could have the same amount of items, 500, and you could be making only 1,000 a month. So it's all about the product that you're trying to push.
Yeah, basically, you're a beast. I mean, you make a whole lot of money on eBay.
Yeah, but you got to remember too, that I do have a big overhead as well. You know what I mean?
True. But you see the number. The number looks good.
Yeah, that's true. But hustle, baby, hustle. It's not only in the shop. I'm out there on a freaking street every single day, man, trying to make a deal any way I can.
You basically answered this part, but what's your return on clothing? I know mine has been high the last 2 months, probably. I'm up to probably 4.5%, 5%, which is starting to become a pain in the butt. But it is what it is. Like, I showed something in my group the other day. There was 4 or 5 returns I had open like 2 days in a row, and it's like Oh, do not fit, do not fit, do not fit. I'm like, man. I was like, what the hell is this? But
Yeah, but at least if it doesn't fit, right, they're paying for the shipping back, correct?
yep.
So, you get it back, you relist it, boom, it's done,
Uh, what do you do when you sold a heavy bulky item and they want to send it back? Shipping costs $40. I guess it just depends on what reason. I mean, if you described it wrong or it's on you, you pay for it. If they just don't like it, it's on them.
Yeah, and depends on the amount too. And if it's an item for a few $100, and if it's something wrong with it and it's my fault, I want that item back because I want to check it out to see, it's few $100 on the table. I want to see what's going on with it because I know I can still flip it for some kind of profit. So I shipped today a press that was 80 pounds and it went to North Carolina. It cost me $56 UPS. But I do it all the time. I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, stop worrying about these returns. It shouldn't be. I know it's part of the business, but you shouldn't be worrying about it. I mean, if you get that 1, 2, 3, 4% even return, it's nothing. I think Walmart does about 12%. Think about it.
It's just a return. If it's sold once, they'll sell again.
Yep.
It was an interesting question. If you could live anywhere, where would it be? I'm supposing you. Well, I probably know what you're gonna say.
Probably Belize.
Belize. That would have been. I would have not. I would have not pictured that. Have you been there?
But that's when I'm ready to really retire. That's when I'm gonna chill. No, I haven't been there to Belize. I've been kind of all over. I haven't been there, but I have a very good friend who's from the Belize, and I hear some great stories about it. So I'll definitely go there to check it out. But definitely somewhere warm. I know I'm building a house here now, and it's like, but that's where my business is. This is where I know how to make money and hustle here, and I love this Midwest area here. But when the time comes to retire, yeah, definitely somewhere warm.
Yeah, I think for myself, I think I'm. If it wasn't for the cold weather, I love. I don't know. I'm in that transition period. If I could live up here and live somewhere else for 3, 4 months a year in New England area, might be good. But I think I'm kind of looking to move south, either Panhandle of Florida, which that's because my parents are thinking about buying property there and building a house, or possibly like Texas, like because the weather's nice and everything. Like I was thinking maybe like Waco because I was looking on the map and I was looking at places you can source. And within that area, you have San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston. You have like 6 of the top 20 more populated cities in the country. So they got to be auctions, they got to be thrift stores, yard sales, they got to be all kinds of ways to shake money out of there.
Yeah,
And
definitely. Plus,
nicer weather. Which,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Nicer weather, and you got the garage sales going, most of the year and stuff like that. So,
as long as I don't see any rattlesnakes, I'm good.
Krillin is asking, have I ever been to New York City? Yes, I've been to New York, New Jersey, Boston. I love that area. I mean, these old towns, they have a lot of history and they got a lot of junk that people want to get rid of that I can make money on it. So that's why I love Chicago so much. There's just a lot of cool stuff that you can find.
Yeah, I think I want to retire though in the Dominican Republic in Las Terrenas, Samana Peninsula. Just chill out on a beach all day, build a house out of containers or something.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because every time I go like on vacation or even a short trip and I go somewhere warm and you always like, oh, I could live here. But it's always great coming back home. You know what I mean? So it's strange.
It's where you know. That's a lot of the part of it. You say that you come home, but it's what you know. It's where you're familiar. It's where everything is.
Yeah. And especially if you have few good friends, like really good friends, you know what I mean? It's hard to leave that behind. So, but
All right, what else we got over here past that one? What encouraged you to open up a shop?
I don't know if that was like something that encouraged me. I mean, for many, many, many years, I had a hauling business. Okay, as I was reselling, we were also doing a hauling, and a lot of stuff were coming in that we like hauling, meaning that I would go and remove junk from people's homes. Okay, and I had up to 6 trucks running, and I have stuff coming in left and right, and we were picking through that, and we were selling that on a flea market. We were selling that out of our shop that I had for a while. And then we finally decided, listen, there's got to be better way of selling this stuff that it's coming in. And remember, this is all free. People are paying me to remove their shit out of their home, and I got an option to sell it. So we decided, hey, why not open a store? And that's what we did. We opened up a shop, and that's how it started. So but I actually sold my hauling business a year ago because the shop is taking so much more time. So the hauling is gone.
Sounds like fun. Did you have like one of those like franchised ones, or was it like?
No, I know there was like there's like a 1-800 got junk out there, or college hunks or something like that. No. This was, yeah. Somebody said here in the chat, Junk Platoon. It was called Junk Platoon USA. We started that back in 2004, something like that, 2004, 2005, and we ran it for over 10 years, and it was a great business. But when economy tanked a little bit, around 2008, 9, 10, it did slow down a little bit, and then we were doing a little bit more construction, removal, and stuff like that. But no, it wasn't a franchise, which was great. And actually, I kind of somebody wanted to buy me out a long time ago. One of the new franchisees that were starting, and I should have sold it back then, but I didn't. But anyway.
What were you doing before 2014? I mean 2004.
I want to keep all that conversation when we get to the Chicago rally. Because I had a lot of stuff to talk about. I always, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 18 years old. So I got a lot of businesses on my belt. And selling was one of them for the longest time. But in between, I own a lot of different things. I own a demolition company. I own a deli. I own a limo company. I mean, I got some businesses on my belt, so I can definitely talk about business.
Definitely
But I love this the most, though. I love this hustle reselling the most. That's what drives me. That's what makes it fun. Every day is different.
Sounds good. We had another one here. No, both of you are not big fans of selling on Amazon. What is your second best platform to sell for both of you?
Well, I do sell still on Amazon. Not a lot, but I do. It was probably about last year, about 15% of my business online was Amazon. I think I did like 40 grand on Amazon last year.
And we
So
did. I don't know what I did. We just did taxes too. No idea. Maybe 30. It's usually anywhere between 1,000 and 5,000. Just depends on what I'm selling that month. If I'm not finding a lot of stuff. In the summer, I actually do better on Amazon.
yeah, I and it's both ways. A little bit merchant fulfillment, a little bit FBA. But I like eBay a little bit better, a little bit more control. I like that money coming in every day. Although I am grandfather in, I was getting my paycheck not every day, but every week from Amazon. I get a paycheck. So
I missed it by 1 or 2 months. I missed getting disbursements by every. You could request it on every day if you wanted to.
yeah,
I think it was weekly,
yeah, that's what I get weekly. So
and I was like, damn. I didn't know. I started selling on Amazon before I sold on eBay, but it was just local. Just things I picked up here and there. I never even thought about you doing this full time. I wish I did though, sooner.
and then another platform. I mean, we sell a ton of stuff locally. I mean, like OfferUp or Let Go or 5 Mile or Craigslist. That brings a ton of transactions. And drives ton of traffic to my shop as well too. And what's great about it, somebody sees something on OfferUp, they want it, we tell them to come to the shop, and they end up spending more money because they buy different things in a shop. So the local game is big. It's huge.
That's always good. I think we do sell some things, but it's mostly like advertising on Facebook groups or Craigslist, or even just a few local guys I know. If I can get good money out of them and first what I got into it, and I'm just looking to move it on to get a different one, different sign or something, I'll just move it sometimes, get it out of here.
Yeah. I mean, the whole idea, guys, is if you enjoy it, if you have passion for this, it's gonna work. If you don't, you're eventually gonna get burned out and you're gonna move on. So if you can find something that you really, really enjoy, meaning a specific niche, you can make this a really enjoyable gig. Honestly, I mean, times are crazy right now to do this kind of business. It is. I mean, it's just for us to be able to just do the research on these little devices instantly and be connected with so many people. It's easy. I mean, it's super easy. I mean, 15-20 years ago was a totally different ball game. Now it's just like, and I know a lot of people doing, so it's more competition. You just got to stay ahead of the curve, basically.
Right. Any advice on speeding up a routine of listing clothing ad? And I add measurements to both post measurements. I know for me, I got a lot quicker when I started listing things in groups of like go through all men's casual shirts first, or polo shirts, or dress shirts, do all suits one after the other, because you just sell similar. I already have an idea what price I want to price everything at. So it's kind of just changing a few different brand sizes, material, add different pictures, but the template just stays the same. And, you know, I measure right at my desk. I'm I mean, it shouldn't take you that long to measure stuff. Really. Just got a nice tape measure and bang it out. I mean, that's just what I do. And then I have all my pictures preloaded on the computer, so I'm just adding them.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give any advice on how to speed up clothing because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Actually, Vicky was so happy that I slowed down a little bit of clothing, that I'm just like focusing on certain things because she hated it.
Clothing is definitely it does take a little while to do that. It gets takes time to get used to it too. I mean, that's the one thing I would subcontract out to somebody in the future, hopefully, when I get settled wherever I go. There will be somebody listening and somebody picturing. I'm just dropping off stuff, and I think that's the one thing I need in my business.
It definitely, if you want to, expand and move on and be successful, eventually you gotta end up hiring people and expanding. I mean, that's really the only way. Otherwise, you're gonna kill yourself. So this is a really good question that I want to talk about. What do you feel is the #1 key to your success in reselling? What do you think, Ronnie?
Gotta enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, you're
That's
gonna.
it. That's it. You got it. Like I just mentioned, you got to have the passion, because if you do, everything becomes this is not work. It becomes not being a work. You're not dreading. You're not. It's it becomes such an easy gig when you enjoy it. That's #1 thing, and probably #2 is patience. Just be patient. Nothing happens overnight. You're not gonna make shed load of money 3 months from now. It just doesn't happen. And you gotta learn stuff, and every year you're gonna get better and better. Simple.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely you need to have a love for it. Anyway, let me see. That one, that one, that one.
I know we missed a ton of questions because it's just impossible, but
Yeah, here's an interesting question. What's the most valuable item that ever came into your shop, whether you bought it or not?
huh.
I would assume it had to be a car, maybe, or a
Um
piece of jewelry.
recently I had, let's see if I can still find it in my phone. I took pictures of it. I hope I got it. Maybe I deleted it already. Yeah, I do have it. I don't know if you guys gonna see it. These are actually uh, paintings of Van Gogh, when original prints when they were on tour in 1958, I want to say. And these end up being in a museum in a local, well, a couple towns over. The museum got actually knocked down, and they were selling some of the stuff off, and these actually end up in my shop, and they wanted to sell them to me, and we couldn't come to the deal. They were asking $35,000 for these. And I had actually a couple different people looked at them, and we never could come to any kind of agreement with them, and they wanted a lot more money than I was willing to dish out. So this was recent. I did had a couple cars. I had boats. Somebody wanted to sell me a plane last year, a small Cessna. That I'm like, how am I gonna sell this thing? So yeah, some jewelry here and there. A lot of times, different kind of expensive watches will come in. Either Rolex or Omega that they do hold their value, and it's very hard to make a deal on them because 99% of the time people really know what they have, and and there's not much money to be made on those. So those walk out of the shop all the time because I can make a deal. Few vintage Gibson guitars, Les Paul Gibson that I bought and sold over the years. But I'm trying to think of something like really, really crazy. I can't.
You ever get like anybody coming in like Super Bowl rings or championship baseball or World Series rings or anything like that?
No, never had a championship ring come in. I mean, I get quite a bit of sports memorabilia, like signed Michael Jordan basketball and stuff like that. I had Walter Payton signed football, original jersey that he played in the game.
That would be cool.
Yeah, which I actually sold last year. I bought that and I sold it to a local bar that it's like heavy core dedicated to Chicago beers, and they got all kinds of memorabilia. So they bought that from me after negotiating with me for like 3 years on it. back and forth, and I finally sold it to them. But no championship rings. There's a lot of goofy stuff that comes in. I don't know if you've seen it on a video that I made a couple weeks ago. Like somebody brought me that stupid a barstool golf cart.
I did see that, and I was like, "What are you gonna do with that?" Just popping wheelies.
But shit like this does sell. Somebody, spring will start and somebody will buy this. There's people like crazy stuff like that.
That thing was odd.
Yeah.
I do catch most of your videos. Let me see here. Where did we go? Someone has set up a 30-day return. Is almost up and hasn't been returned. Can it be closed after 30 days? You can actually call eBay and have a return closed after 5 or 6 business days if they have not shipped that item. eBay feels that's sufficient time. You just have to call them though. There's no like button or anything that you press to do it. But if you call them, they will close it. Ronnie and Pete, do you price your items higher because you expect people trying to offer less than that? What is your strategy on pricing, I guess?
Well, no, I price my items just below, I think, like the highest point. But I do not have best offer on any of my items. If somebody really, really wants the item, they will message me and make me an offer. But I tend to stay pretty high most of the time. Same thing in a shop. Everything is priced for little negotiation, especially in a shop because people love to bargain. It's like nonstop thing. People beat me down all the time in a shop. But online, I usually keep it pretty up there. I'm willing to wait on some of the stuff.
Yeah, I think for myself, I price it not quite high, but it's like a little bit. I don't know. You kind of got to take out that top 10 or 15%, and then I kind of price it somewhere in that probably like the 75 percentile, and then price it there and just kind of go with it from there. But then we run almost a 20% off sale almost all the time. I've had a few slow days. I actually did. I did, I think 25% for this weekend. I was like, yo, I want a few extra sales just because I had a slow week so far. Got to even out somewhere this week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here and there, if I had the item too long, obviously I will drop the price too. I want to move it. Yeah, we got some cool people in the chat today. We got Crazy Picker Life. I seen Dallas Moore earlier. I see some cool people watching us for a change. Maybe that's because Chad is not here.
Probably. I probably won't get as many dislikes either. I get dislikes no matter what. I think it's cute. I think it's fun. Nobody tells me why though. They leave a dislike. They just do leave them.
I don't care. I get bombarded with my stuff sometimes. I get depends on the video. Sometimes I get 5, 6 dislikes, and the next video will be 30, 40, 50 dislikes. I'm like, whatever.
I never get it. I just think it's funny. My pronunciations of things. It's like it's not going to get any better anytime soon. So I'm sorry if I can't pronunciate things the way I should, but I don't think anybody's perfect. What else do we have? Got that one. Got that one. Hey, we're almost to the end of the question. Oh, here we go. Do you guys edit your pictures on eBay? And how long does it take you to do that? What is a good amount of time to spend on, I guess, pictures?
There's no special editing with my pictures or anything like that. Just taking quality pictures, take as many as the item requires. If it's something unusual, I will fill up the box completely, all 12 pictures. If it's a new sealed item, just 3, 4 pictures. How many pictures you can take of a box, that it's sealed. But no special editing or nothing like that. White background, good lighting, and that's it.
Yeah, my wife takes most of our pictures, and it's basically 2 light umbrellas, a vinyl background, and that's about it. I mean, I'll maybe crop the photos a little bit if if there's I don't like the photo that great, or if I want to cut something out of it. But I mean, that's about as far as editing I do. Um, if I have an issue with something, I talk to her about it, that how we can work on adding more light or this or that. But you just need a clean background taking photos. You don't need a mannequin to wear anything like that. You can do flat lays and just need a clean background and a clean picture, and take as many pictures as you need. They
Yeah.
give you 12 pictures. Don't take a front picture of something and just put up one picture, because it's gonna. I mean, I don't put 12 pictures on nearly anything. There's very few things. Like suits are probably the only thing. Like a two-piece suit is the only thing I probably max out the pictures on. Most other things, there's no real reason to.
I would say for my items, usually 50, 60% of my items would have all 12 pictures. But like you said, the main thing is nice, clean, no background clutter. There's 2 cups standing next to your, item that you're taking a photo, or something in a background, or you taking that in. I was just looking at something, and somebody had this. Well, I can't remember what was the item, but it was on a kitchen countertop, and you can see a bottle of wine, a bottle of whiskey, and it was something else, and like a Pepsi can, and all kinds of shit in the background, right behind the picture. I'm like, come on.
I should look at some of my older videos, because I did like sale update videos like 2013, and that's when I really did everything. Still, I was taking pictures. I would literally, on my desk, on the side, you'd see the printer in the background. You see the scale on top of the scale. I take the pictures of the shoes. It was like, oh, I was looking back at those a few years ago, and I was like, oh, those were really bad. I mean, surprised but I mean, they still sold, unfortunately, but it's crazy.
Yeah, but the competition now makes it that you have to be kind of on top of it when it comes to that. Back in the day, it was a jungle. Now it's a little bit different. So yeah, people keep asking me, what am I drinking? I'm drinking some bourbon today. I usually drink my Scotch Glenlivet, but I'm out of it, so today I'm drinking some bourbon.
What the hell is... Hey Pete, is the location of the rally changing location of your new home? What?
What?
I don't even understand what that means. I read it before. I was thinking what it meant.
I don't get it either. Maybe you can repeat that. Somebody was asking too if I would ever make a video about the stuff that you shouldn't buy or I don't buy. Yeah, maybe that's not a bad idea, but then I got nothing to show you. This is the shit that I don't buy. Like,
Biggest thing,
know.
I mean, don't buy items that are broken or missing pieces. I don't know how many times or flawed. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Because if I'm buying it to bring it home, most of the time it's going to be sold. You know, don't buy often suit jackets without the pants. They don't sell. You know, and
Yeah, but
don't...
it's a little bit different though with some hard goods. I will buy actually broken. You know, like for example, I just bought a broken turntable. You know, and even still 4 parts. Even I will make some good money on it. So it all depends on what it is. You know, it's just I will buy all day long broken receivers from 60s and 70s. You know, the vintage stuff all day long, because even 4 parts not working, they'll bring crazy money. So
Oh, that's what is the resale rally going to be held at your new house?
right.
Can you fit 200 people there?
I don't think so.
Would the neighbors be upset with the traffic?
In a cul-de-sac.
Can we park our cars wherever? Well, I think we're caught up all the questions. That was a lot of questions.
Yeah, I'm trying to read some of the stuff.
But I'm getting ready. Next month, I want to try to attack $15,000. That's my goal, just on eBay. So, gonna go at that with all my other selling platforms. I mean, I probably come close to 20, but I've never, I've hit like 15 or 16 if you include eBay. I mean, eBay. If you include Amazon, because I think my best month on eBay, if you include shipping, was 13,800. So I think it's feasible. You know, just have to go out there and snap the whip and put the wife to work.
It is definitely, but you, like I said earlier, you definitely come to the point that you only got so much time in a day that you can source, list, and eventually, if you want to hit those higher numbers, you got to have employees. I mean, it's just, unless you start dealing with, $20,000 antiques and you're selling, 4 pieces a month, yeah, then it's a different ball game. Or I have a friend who deals with, musical instruments that he sells only 4 or 5 a month, but his average sale is $6,000, So, but you gotta have big money to make money like that. So
Yeah, it's all fun. I can attempt to do it. What is your favorite adult beverage?
well, I love my scotches. I'm a scotch drinker, so I gotta say I like scotch.
I don't know. I've cut a lot of alcohol over the years out of my drinking. And the one thing that I can drink fairly well and not have like a huge hangover in the morning or anything like that is Dominican rum, like Bugal or I can't think of the other one. I have it in my refrigerator, but I don't touch it. I don't drink it that often.
Yeah. I'm not a drinker myself. I mean, I enjoy having a glass when I'm doing a show like this or when I go to the party or something like that, but I'm not a drinker at all. In the summertime when it's hot, I enjoy, a nice cold beer here and there. But all right, Mr. Ronnie, we're about that 1 hour mark. You want to keep going, or we are calling a day or a night,
No,
whatever?
I think we have to end it, unfortunately.
All right, awesome. I think we answered most of the question. At least we tried.
Yeah, it will end with this last question. Where the hell did it go now? What is your reselling goals? Do you set daily goals, weekly, monthly for your business?
Hmm. It's for me. It's more goals like for the whole year we set up, or yeah, it's not monthly goals, but it's like this year we have a certain goal um, to reach, especially in our store, not so much online, but in a shop. We're trying out a few different things. And we are giving ourselves 6 to 8 months to make it happen. So these are kind of more long-term goals for me. I don't see anything like 5 years from now because I think that's ridiculous. In this day and age, and with the technology and things that are happening so fast, it's almost impossible that I can, I mean, I can have like a future that I'm thinking about what I would like to have, but to set actual goal, I don't know. I Who knows what's gonna happen 5 years from now?
I always thought when you go for a job interview and they ask that stupid question, where would you like to be in 5 years? I'm always being interviewed by the chef or the manager. I'm like, your job. I keep it short and simple. It's like you think I would be still working under you, or either I'm moving up somewhere or I'm taking your job. That's how I'm doing it. But I think for myself, we usually set a goal for the year, and then through certain months we have to exercise a certain amount of money to live. I think this year we wanted to do. I want to see about 200,000, which I would need to hit. What's that, like a little over 15 a month, and that's total on eBay and Amazon, not just eBay. So I mean, need to hit a certain amount. Right now, I'm happy if I hit between 10,000 is what I need to live on, because I average between 50 and 60% profit. So that pays my bills and makes me comfortable. So, well, that's just on eBay, but you know, but if I want to, got to start working on that year end goal here and start pushing a little bit harder. But I'm ahead of where I was last year, so I think I'm up like 20% so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, a little bit tough in this business. I mean, but if you know what you're doing and you've been doing it for a while, you can definitely set some goals. Just like you said, right now you know what you've been doing, right? So you're just stretching it a little bit. Okay, I know I did 150 grand. I know I did 160. Is 200,000 achievable for me? And it is, and that's your new goal. And it's going to take you a year. So baby steps, right?
Yeah, I mean it's what it is. You can't really expect to do $10,000 a year and then say, "Oh, I'm gonna do 100,000 next year." It's unattainable.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like I was talking with Dallas one day, and he said the same thing. Just try to grow your business 5% every month, and if
Yeah.
you did that, you're up 60% for the year. If you could just try to make that happen.
And
And it was a good way to look at it.
yeah, and that's 5%. I try to grow my business long term 15 to 18% a year. The whole year. Baby steps. And I know it's gonna take me 8 years, 5 years, whatever, 10 years, but eventually, but it's a steady growth, small but steady. So
Yes, sir. And I plan on working on my business over the summer, something I did not do last year.
I know you've been slacking last year. I remember that. You took like 3 months off, man.
I just wanted to just take it easy. I don't know, sometimes you feel like you're gonna burn yourself out, and it's just like, you know what? Let me pull back a little bit because you're doing the same thing. It's the constant. And I just wasn't finding anything, which was another pain. Just yard sales were the worst last year than I can ever remember. Even estate sales, like, just weren't finding what I'm used to finding, or always being behind somebody else, like 5 minutes late to a yard sale, and you're like, eh.
But you know what the biggest thing is? You said it yourself at the beginning of the show that you have less items now that you had a year or two ago, and you're making more money. That's the progress everybody needs to make. You're putting actually a little bit less work, you have less items listed, and you're still making the same or more money. That's the key, I think. A lot of people miss that. So
I mean, my goal is everything sells in 3 months. And it's kind of, there's certain things that stay longer than 3 months, like a lot of sport coats and suits. But for the most part, I try to have it that it sells in 3 months. I do not like things hanging around. And I've gotten into the habit of auctioning things off if it's sitting around too long. I see something I've had for a year, it's like, you got to go. You're just taking up space at this point.
yep.
We're not
All
going
right,
to talk
Ronnie.
about shipping, that's for sure. But thank you all for coming out and watching me and Pete just babble along. But it was good.
Yeah,
Thank you all for coming out.
show some love, Ronnie. Give some thumbs up for him.
Yes, help us out. See y'all later. Thank you all for coming out. See you again. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks,
Enjoy
guys.
your weekend.